Hello everybody, Sawyer189 here, and today we're going over a box unboxing of a one of those little random lots that I get from Amazon every so often. We got one here. Let's try to get it out of the bag real quick. Here it comes in the box. The packaging was okay on this one. It wasn't as good as it's been before. I think the comics look like they're in fine shape, so I guess that's all that really matters. But usually they got like a couple extra layers of protection than this one had, but whatever. Also, it looks like all these comics are out of the bags and boards, which sometimes they give you comics in bag and board, sometimes they don't. It just depends. Basically, it looks like they're all inside of this big ass, plastic bag. So, yeah. But like I said, they don't really look like they're damaged or anything, so that's good. But packaging just didn't look like it was as well done as it has been before. Alright, let's go ahead and start looking at these. I think this is mostly I think this is advertised as a DC lot. I'm not sure. So, we got JLA number 38. This is part of World War III, part 3 of 6. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's a storyline where they have a World War III. So, this looks like is this like the classic? Yeah, this is kind of like, ooh, that's nasty image right there. But yeah, so we got that issue. Then we got JLA number 39. The next issue after that is part 4, part 4 of 6. Got a cool little Queen Bee cover there. Then we have Batman number, what is this, number 661. Pretty cool cover. I like. Who is the artist that always draws Batman like this? Is it Chuck Dixon or is that a writer? Okay, it might be Grant from Noah. Anyway, I like when they draw Batman like this. It's got that very kind of almost monstrous, vampire bat kind of look to him. I like that. Then we have Superman, Man of Steel, number 23. Classic Steel cover from the 90s. Then we have another Superman cover. This is part of the reign of the Superman. Back whenever Superman died and all these other kind of wannabe Superman characters were popping up. Looks like Cyborg Superman is fighting Doomsday, which is interesting. I didn't realize that Doomsday actually made appearances in between. I thought he was basically in like the Death of Superman, and then I thought he next appeared in the Return of Superman, but maybe he I don't know. I always thought Superman knocked him out during that first fight, and then he was like pretty much out of commission until Superman came back because he broke out of prison or whatever it was. I don't know. But anyway, then we have this issue of Cops. This is a giant-sized first issue of Cops, number 1. This is a DC comic. I didn't know. I never realized DC made this. This is weird. How old is this? This is from 1988, and it is yeah, it looks like it's a sci-fi thing, like like it's all like robotic cyborg cops or whatever. So that's weird. Yeah. Check that one out because that seems really weird to me. Then we got Batman number, what is this? Batman number 493. Again, you got this again, you got this very vampire bat-looking Batman art. I like it. I really dig it. Then you got Batman 492, which is a little bit different style. Well, that's probably it's the same kind of Batman, same artist, I think. But yeah, that's part of Nightfall, which is the big series leading up to Batman getting his back broken. Then we have Midnight Suns Unlimited number 4. I don't really know what this is. It looks like it's a team of some of the more supernatural characters. It looks like you got Blade, Brother Voodoo, and Morbius on the cover, and Ghost Rider. So yeah, I don't know who the other guy is with the shotgun or whatever. But it might be Drake. I mean, it might be Drake. What is that his name? The guy from the Dracula's son or whatever. But yeah, this is a real thick book, by the way. Really thick book. So it's pretty much like what's that other series where Blade and Morbius were teamed up? Whatever was that? Or was it Blade and Hannibal? Night Riders or something like that, or Night Stalkers? I think it was called Night Stalkers. Then we have Nomad number 4. guest starring Captain America. You know, I don't really know anything about this character, but I was under the impression that he was supposed to be like a Captain America type of character. Like he was supposed to be, like I thought he was Captain America because there was a bunch of like people talking about Infinity War and how Captain America was going to become Nomad. So maybe there's another Nomad or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about this character. The only reason why I even say anything about Captain America is that he's guest starring on the issue. And it has this pretty cool Punisher commercial for a video game on the back. I wonder how many Punisher video games there are, because I've seen at least 3 from the 80s or whatever, or 90s. Then we have another Nomad cover. This is number what? Number 3. That was number 4. Then we have number 1 of Nomad. That's kind of cool. Always cool to get a first issue of something. Then we have Nomad number 2. So apparently this collection has this supposedly random collection has the first 4 issues of Nomad. So that's kind of funny. I don't really care about it. It's just funny to me. Then we have Web of Spider-Man number. What is this number? Number 111. This cover looks like it. Is this cover an homage? It looks like this is paying homage to that classic Lizard Spider-Man cover where they're falling. And yeah, that's what it looks like. It kind of reminds me of that. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't really, that wasn't the intention, but okay. So then we have, oh, this is cool. Then we have, I used to have this a long time ago, but I don't have it anymore. We have Punisher 2099 number 1. Pretty cool. I always like Punisher. I like the 2099 stuff. Some of it, you know, it was pretty imaginative, and it was pretty cool that they went for this whole future look, you know, with everything. And I remember reading this, and let's see if I can find it somewhere. But I remember that this was kind of cool because, you know, Punisher had like all his people locked up in prison or whatever. Like he had his own personal prison, which I know it seems kind of weird for Punisher. You would think Punisher just kills everybody, but for some reason he had his own like kind of like holding cells inside of his base of operations. But yeah, I can't seem to find it. Maybe it's in a different issue. This book is a little damaged after I look inside of it. It's got some wet spots, or not. It's got like some dried watermarks, so you can tell it got wet on some of the pages. Then we have Punisher 2099 number 2, which that's pretty cool. I actually like this cover. This cover like looks so much different. It looks like it's from a different era almost than the first cover. That's weird. I guess it's because the first cover's got that kind of holographic stuff going on, but yeah. Then we have. Okay, I am getting kind of annoyed that now I'm starting to get kind of annoyed that we have so many connected issues. Like, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's that's one of the reasons why I usually buy these is because they're supposed to be random. But we have Backlash number 1, pretty cool cover. I don't know who this character is. It's an Image character, but we got Backlash number 1. Then we have Backlash number 2. I was never. Oh, this is guest starring Savage Dragon, by the way. I was never really a fan of Image during the 90s, like, you know, when they actually had their superheroes, per se. I'm a much bigger fan of them now that they do all this creator-owned content, and it's different, you know, like, I like that every Image comic is in its own universe, supposedly. You know, it's like its own story. I like it now. Because, you know, you do get tired of seeing just the shared universes over and over. So then we have Backlash number 6. We have The Wild number 1. Don't even know what this is. It's a collector's issue. I love when they have to tell you it's a collector's issue, because it's pretty much not a collector's issue. This looks like an independent comic, honestly. This looks, you know, it's also got maybe it's not, I don't know. It's also got that what do you call that? That computer generated kind of like, you know, art to it. And then we have Backlash number 1 again? I thought I had the first. Maybe this is a different run or something. Maybe this is a variant. I don't know. Did they make variants back then? I'm kind of curious. Does anybody know when variants started? Let me know. I think they did start during the 90s, right? Because isn't that one of the reasons why the comic book industry started sinking during the 90s? Because they just kept putting like variants out, and they were trying to overprice them, and people didn't really care about the variants. Then we have this Lone Wolf and Cub number. What is this? Number 10. This is a nice little thick book. It almost feels like a freaking graphic novel almost. And I believe this is an independent comic, isn't it? That became bigger. You got the black and white imagery here. Okay. Then we got let's see. Then we start getting into some scandalous shit here. We got number 19 of Red Sonja. I know there's a lot of Red Sonja fanboys out there. I've never really cared about her, but I know there's a lot of people that really like her. I know there's a lot of people that like her and then like Lady Death, which I never even heard of until like probably a year ago when I joined this like big Facebook group, but it's all comic book fans. There's so many of them that go giggly over Lady Death stuff. Here we have another Red Sonja cover. I'm sure we can all agree on what the important aspects of this cover are. So yeah. And the last book is also another dynamic book. I think this is called Damsels, and it's another asset full cover. Alright, so that is the comic book unboxing for today. Overall, overall, I like it. I do like what I got. I think it's better than the second one I got. I don't think it beat the first one that I got. Like the first unboxing video I did, I think it was the best one. I think it was my favorite collection of books that I picked up. But this one is definitely better than the last one. I was disappointed with the last one, but I like this one. This one had a few like connected issues together, a pretty good amount of first issues. So those are always good for reading purposes. You can actually jump into the story, and yeah. So overall, not disappointed this time. So that's good. So always, guys, thank you, and keep on being awesome.